Race 4 is underway on the Red Sea and they are all flying.
Oh, the racing was fantastic. It's some of the best racing I've ever done.
This is what we've been waiting for. They are so close, and just look at the speeds.
Yeah, absolutely ripping downwind here.
This is tight racing.
No more excuses. Tomorrow we really need to win races.
You have to be brave to sail fast, and that's exactly what these guys are doing.
Dogfights on the Red Sea.
Intense, fast, close racing where accuracy was important.
First two races for me were like unbelievable. Now we were fast, we were match racing the best sailors of the world.
And they will win race number 4.
Well, we are not in the final yet, but we have our opportunity and we can beat them.
These two boats, Emirates Team New Zealand and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, are banging heads. Yeah. The third raceman, who will get it?
We've never seen these guys do a match race, so we have no idea what they're going to throw at us.
I've seen a few impressive things in my sailing career, but in the performance of the Italian team, it's really, really impressive.
It's finals day here in Jeddah for the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta. Buckle up, this regatta has come to life on the back of epic AC40 fleet racing on the Red Sea. And here's what we know. If you love speed and sailing, Jeddah's the place to be today. Why? Well, Emirates Team New Zealand have 4 wins on the board and are in the match race final. And as you've seen, right on their stern, the Italians are coming. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they're right in this. But do not write off Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They are in with a shot. This regatta is a big deal for Saudi Arabia. They want young people to be inspired by sport. What better way than a regatta on the scale of the America's Cup? They've built an incredible facility and academy here in Jeddah to promote a new generation of Saudi sailors. Nothing says inspiration more than having the world's best sailors on your home waters. Jeddah's delivered. Day 2 showcasing what the AC40s are capable of and how far you can push them. Points-wise, Emirates Team New Zealand sit atop the pile with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli close behind. Then it's Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Ineos Britannia are an outside chance to make the match race final. The heroes of Villanova, American Magic, will be scratching their heads as to what happened to that form that saw them win in Spain. 6 fleet races have been completed. Another 2 are on the cards today before the top 2 scoring teams race in a winner-takes-all match race. Who will raise the inaugural NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta Jeddah Trophy? Let's see if we can help you out.
Clinical, calm and fast. Emirates Team New Zealand have been the full package here. And from the get-go, we've known they mean business in Jeddah. The Kiwi outfit have won 4 races so far and will be driven to seal the win today. The only team to rattle the Kiwis has been Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. The surprise drivers for this event have been the Olympic champion Ruggero Tita and 19-year-old talent Marco Prodoni. Much is at stake today. Let's see how the youngsters' impressive composure holds up when the heat is on.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing stepping now into the foiling era of America's Cup racing with a new-look team here in Jeddah. With consistent results thus far, with 4 podium finishes out of 6 races, they will be looking to stamp their return to the battleground with a victory here and are currently a real chance of making the match race final.
Let the Day 3 battle begin. The team with the target on their back, Emirates Team New Zealand. 4 wins, they are the team to beat. They are in the match race final. Glenn Ashby.
Yeah, look, they've done a really good job, but so have these guys too. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli really sailing well.
A real tension on the dock this morning as they all left. I mean, today it really matters. And for the young Italian team, just trying to get through each race, not worrying about that great final at the end.
Ineos Britannia are an outside chance. France's regatta is completely different to what they did in Villanova, finishing 3rd. They're sitting well down the line, as are American Magic. They're probably wondering, where has all that form gone? But it does set up a cracking final day here in Jeddah for this NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta, and the crowds are out and ready.
Well, the racetrack, as you can see, is tight. The teams jostle at pace for the perfect start and then head upwind to the top gate, turning around either mark. From there, it is foot to the floor for the downwind leg and the bottom gate. There will be 6 legs before the dash across the line. And get your snacks ready, everyone. We are go. The breeze is in. It's a tantalising 15 knots plus, and it's bumpy. The waves building up over the length of the Red Sea. AC40. Viewing nectar.
And we are live on the racecourse. Stephen McIver, Shirley Robertson, 3-time America's Cup champion Glenn Ashby, and on the water, Pete Lester. Let's go to the water right now, because Pete, honestly, it looks a lot bumpier, as Shirley has just said.
Yeah, you're right with that. It's the wind speed-wise, it's a little bit more than yesterday, maybe up to 17, 18 knots, but the big factor is it's rougher. And that's been brought about overnight. The sprees stayed in, so the waves have got bigger overnight, and it was solid this morning, but it just looks superb. This will be a beauty.
And just a wee note that there is a slight delay, a 5-minute delay, what they have been built to do.
Yeah, these conditions are absolutely spot on to showcase what these boats can do and also what the crews can do. The ride height system on these boats is basically controlled electronically. There is an electronic sensor that actually picks up the water passing under the front of the boat, feeding that information back to an IMU sensor, which basically controls the flight of the boat. It controls the angle of the rudder, lifting the back of the boat, and also the foil angle. So really, really good to see these boats working hard and the crews operating the controls to manage that around the course.
We are seeing between 15 and 20 knots. With this seaweed, Glenn, it is going to be full on.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need the goggles on today. No question, we won't be seeing Sir Ben, I think, with the goggles off, cruising upwind today. He'll be definitely goggles down, and as the rest of the teams will be as well.
6.5 minutes to go. Let's meet the teams that are battling out for 2 fleet races and 1 match race final on day 3 of the regatta here on the Red Sea.
Well, first up, New Zealand. As we'd expect, this team is stacked with talent. 4 athletes who've worked together and delivered on both the Olympic racetrack and in the Cup World. For Jeddah, skipper Pete Burling teams up on the starboard side with trimmer Andy Maloney. He's in charge of speed. And on the port side, Aussie Nathan Outridge drives, backed on the controls by Blair Took.
Ineos Britannia, challenger of record for the 37th America's Cup. A solid improvement thus far from the last event in Villanova, but still not firing on all cylinders. Skipper Ben Ainsley in the driver's seat on starboard, behind him controlling the aero Ian Jensen, with Giles Scott and Bledden Mon on sail control.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing set up camp here in Jeddah for much of the last month. 2 AC40s and a plethora of coaching talent hard to push this young team. Skipper Arno Sarafagis drives the starboard side with Brian Matreau, and across the boat, Max Bachelin, keen to secure his drive for next year, is partnered with the experienced Yves Dutré.
The new young-look Italian team of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli here in Jeddah have really impressed, with the left side of the driving being taken on by 19-year-old Marco Gradoni, and trimming sails as Umberto Molinari, with the right-hand side of the yacht being steered by Ruggero Tita and aero done by Vittorio Bassaro.
For our Villanova champs, it's been a punishing couple of days. While driving on port, Olympic gold medalist Paul Goodison and Mike Menninger on the controls behind him. And driving on the right, 3 times World Sailor of the Year Tom Slingsby, with Riley Gibbs working on pace.
The French team of Orient Express Racing showed a clean set of heels in race 1 in Villanova, but have struggled here for consistency in Jeddah. Steering on the left side of the yacht is Kevin Pepinay, and sitting behind is sail trimmer Jason Saunders. On the right side of the yacht, we have Quentin Delapierre and Matteo Van Dam on aero control.
We've named the combatants, but who is going to meet Emirates Team New Zealand in the match race final? And that's going to be narrative. This team here, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, Arno Sarafaghi said after yesterday's racing, they need to win. They need the 10 points. They're sitting on 27. They need to win now. If they're going to put the pressure on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, it's now or never.
Absolutely. They really, really need to get off the start line well. They'll have to pin the ears back and absolutely send it. Really, it's all or nothing for those guys in this first race to give themselves a great opportunity to move forward, to have a chance of getting into that match race final.
They have really put the time in here in Jeddah. They know these conditions and have been frustrated that they've not been winning. So today it's so important that they show that.
Just watching these yachts, to use a phrase that Glenn used, to rip around this course in these conditions that are going to pressure not just the boats but the sailors themselves. Wow, this start, Peter, we're about a minute away from start. Can you just quickly, how would you approach the start?
I think the ends of the line, I like the look of the pin end of the line. I think the game could be on. You're in clear air and you can punch right out to that left-hand lane line if you win the pin.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate that as we look at Lingy Red Bull Racing. Man, there's some tension already, isn't there?
Just look also at the box, the starting area below that start line. It is tiny in these conditions. There's going to be a lot of manoeuvring before they cross that line.
Yeah, race course really, really close to the beach here in Jeddah. Fantastic conditions.
This is the race committee. The course for race 7 is course 6. Course 6. Axis is 310. Length is 1.4 nautical miles. Good luck.
Finals day on the Red Sea. How good does it get? Well, if it's as good as yesterday, we will be bouncing off the walls, and so will you be. Touchdown for Orient Express Racing, 2 minutes to go. Now the battle of wills begins.
France has had mechanical and hydraulic issues all week. They are slightly wounded, and I think we might see them nursing their boat round the track here.
Yeah, they're going to really need to get popped up on the foils and start sending it downwind, otherwise they will risk being late. Watching the rest of the fleet all jostling, coming in with a slightly different approach from yesterday in these slightly windier conditions. Does change your time on distance. You can see the boats here sailing sort of in that training wheel safety mode, if you like, basically just cruising around. Makes the trimmer's job a whole lot easier while you're actually killing your time on distance before the start to sail on all 3 foils.
It's so hard driving. You can only see one side. You can't see what's underneath you, and it's all on. 6 boats doing 20 knots in the starting box.
Stand by, Jibe. Board down in 2, 1.
This is American magic. Winners in Villanova, and with the greatest respect, nowhere here in Jeddah. And they, to go back to day 1 after the shocker they had, they were embarrassed. But here we go, less than a minute to go to start.
Yeah, this will be the final approach to the start line now, but let's just go on board and have a listen to some of the crews.
Keeping it pretty close to the boat front, but not getting overlapped.
Copy, mate.
Others are quite high behind us.
Match is brought up if he goes, American Magic trying to slow down here a little.
Speed's good.
Pick up a bit.
35 to the start. We are 35 below the pin.
Yes.
18. In 12.
30 seconds to go. Tensions rising in the boats, none more so than on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Lingy Red Bull Racing. They're fighting for that spot in the match race final.
Only 15 to go here. Everyone looking like they're in pretty good shape. Possibly a little late for Ineos Britannia. Got the British being late here.
5 to go, and it's race on in race 7 here in Jeddah.
Clear start, clear start.
And it's a clear start, a perfect start for race 7 of this NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta.
Yeah, look, a fantastic start there. Emirates Team New Zealand really getting the boat over target speed and winding up. A big VMG gain for the first 10 or 15 seconds. They're in great position there. Really tight battle there with the Lingy Red Bull Racing, Luna Rossa and American Magic. They'll be sort of keeping their elbows out, all fighting hard for a nice lane when they tack over to head back to the right-hand side of the course.
Let's quickly go down to Peter on the water. What did you make of that start, Pete?
Pretty well what I expected for the boats to push hard, and we saw Emirates Team New Zealand heading toward that left side, getting to the boundary, and New Zealanders clear ahead. Beautiful start, and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli just tacking on the boundary, thin on the hip of Emirates Team New Zealand, so they'll be getting gassed a little bit. So they're the windward boats. Then underneath, really, it's a bit of a gaggle with the French late into the start, but they survived really well.
20 seconds, 30, so easy at the moment.
I think we are crossing. I think we are updated.
And next one yours. Yes. Happy to have you up, and Nick, if you will manage.
Have the cross.
Nice. Now, be quiet. We have the lead. Long port.
Slowly starting to lift again. 309.
The American Magic really sailing fast there. 32 knots of boat speed heading it out to that right-hand boundary. They're actually looking pretty slippery to me. They've actually clawed their way back from a tight start, a little bit squeezed, but they're actually sailing bow free now, looking good.
Well, there's a lot to play here for American Magic. I mean, they came into this regatta potentially as one of the favourites. They haven't delivered, and let's look at this in context. Pride plays a big part in this game.
Really tight situation here. Emirates Team New Zealand, American Magic. Emirates Team New Zealand right on their face. American Magic having to tack and clear their air. That's a painful position to sail for a long period. They'll do a short tack out here. They'll look to hit Luna Rossa. Possibly. No, too late. They're still speed building. They'll carry on for clear air on the way back. Today is really redemption day for me with American Magic. This will be all about redeeming themselves for the last couple of days. They need a real good performance today to dig themselves out of the hole. Really close cross here. Bang, Team New Zealand right in front of American Magic. You're pretty much sitting right in the exhaust gas of Emirates Team New Zealand there. Not the place you want to be this early in the race.
I spoke to Terry Hutchinson this morning, and he said yesterday they did well on the first leg, the Americans, but just, a tight course here. Team New Zealand crossing ahead.
Orient Express Racing had to dip under Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. This is just what we have seen in the last 2 days. Everybody is going hammer and tongs towards the top gate for the first time. And who will be leading them around the top gate? It will be the hot favourite at this point, and that is Emirates Team New Zealand. Followed around by Orient Express Racing, who we were wondering at the pre-start where they were at the top of the course. Then it's Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, American Magic following them around. On the opposing gate, it's Ineos Britannia and Lingy Red Bull Racing, who need to be a lot further up the fleet if they want to have a chance of making that match race final.
Nice, shift is good there.
Yeah, no, I think we just go all the way here.
Copy.
Just setting you up a bit.
Pressure seems good here. Yep.
Okay, boundary in 30.
Oh, terrible jibe, Emirates Team New Zealand. Oh, that's really going to hurt. They're going to definitely lose some positions there. French, I think, straight over their bow. Bang, there they go. Orient Express Racing really sailing the boat cleanly. Protest by Emirates Team New Zealand there on Orient Express Racing as they were speed building there. Very tight here.
The French are sending it in this race. They have had a terrible week fraught with mechanical and hydraulic dramas, and today, well, they're coming out shining.
The learning never stops for Orient Express Racing, the last of these teams to receive their AC40. Surprised everyone in Villeneuve with that third placing and a race win. Hasn't been as productive here on the Red Sea in Jeddah.
Yeah, Team New Zealand just going to get the squeeze here. They'll just be getting a little bit of wobbly breeze there coming off both boats here because they're both bending the wind in front of Emirates Team New Zealand. They're slightly off the pace there, 37 knots versus 41, so they're paying a penalty.
Look at that sea state. It is cracking.
Oh, the French. Oh, using all the hull and the foils. It's definitely not the smoothest manoeuvre there. That is going to cost them some distance. as we see Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, a much cleaner manoeuvre. Their speed build will be quicker, 37, 38 knots versus 36. Big gain to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the new leaders of the race.
Very good performance. Okay, we have a marginal.
Yes, but we have a cross with America, let's see.
Okay, so in case
we go you for right, yeah.
We go you for right. Let's go longer, yeah, because we have
this is the umpire's penalty France relative Italy. Penalty France relative Italy. About 40 metres to lose.
2 or round up. We can go small function.
Yes,
we go small function. 3.
Calm, guys. Keep calm.
Yeah, 2, 1, ball down.
Oh, the French.
And 2, 1, slowly
Luna
going.
Rossa Prada Pirelli around the bottom gate for the first time to complete 2 legs. Then it's American Magic, Orient Express Racing, followed closely by Ineos Britannia. Then Emirates Team New Zealand following the train.
Here on France.
Hold the line if you want from me.
We go another 20 for Chris. It's sitting up here. 3, 2, 1, or down. French of deck 2.
It's onto the water with Peter Lester. Peter, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli just finding their mojo again very quickly.
Beautiful downwind by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They rolled past Emirates Team New Zealand after the New Zealanders touched down and then really worked over Orient, the French at the bottom mark.
This is
really
the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.3 nautical miles.
Race officer Mel and Ian, they're just extending the course a little bit. Fantastic conditions here. This will be as flat as it gets today. It's only going to get choppier from here, so we'll get bumpier. We'll get more exciting for us talking about it, of course, but also get more exciting for those watching as well.
The breeze has softened a little. I think that's what's caused the shortening of the race track.
We need to go after this, after the G-spot.
Yeah, okay, after the G-spot.
After the G-spot.
Now, no issues.
The press.
Pressure on the bow maybe? Or? Yeah, that just went our way big time.
We have seen more close crosses on the Red Sea in the last 48 hours than I've seen in a long, long time.
More down and turning. Super good left.
More up, maybe.
Halfway up the 3rd leg on the 2nd upwind run, and at the moment it's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, that green denoting that they are in a box position potentially to go into this match race final.
Yeah, just looking at the replay here, French in a really tricky position there, having to jibe inside American Magic. They couldn't carry on, they had to do a jibe there and sailed very, very deep to the mark and only just got round in one piece there.
Tom Burnham on board the chase boat for American Magic. Tom, what do you make of your team today?
Yeah, the guys are having a good race so far here. It's a pretty tight one and looking pretty good. I like the way they did handle the bottom of that run.
What has been the approach to this final day of racing for your team?
Yeah, just to stick to the basics and work on our process, and picked out a couple little things we learned from yesterday that we wanted to hit, but nothing significant. Just keep doing our things well.
Thanks for your time, buddy. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Hey, stand by. Put down in 3, 2, 1. Put down. And turning.
French having to do a little dip there on Emirates Team New Zealand as they rip past the bow of Orient Express Racing. Unfortunately, that's put Orient Express Racing down the ladder rung just a little bit. They'll have to keep pressing on the jib hard to keep their air clear as they go across to the right-hand side. But it's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli really working the Pirellis hard on the edge of grip and extending out the front, leading into the top gate.
The Italians in the lead as we complete the halfway mark of the 7th race here of the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta here in Jeddah. And they are flying at the moment as they round that top mark and head on the downward leg, followed in by American Magic. As Glenn quite rightly said, a little bit of redemption. Emirates Team New Zealand steaming past the bow of Orient Express Racing, and they have got Ineos Britannia right up their tailpipe. And not a good race, number 7, I have to say it, for Alingi Red Bull Racing. who desperately need major points.
Yeah, Linky Red Bull Racing, not exactly where they're wanting to be. A lot of work to do from there to have an opportunity to make it through to that match race final. Anything can happen though, as we've seen in the past, but it is a long way from there.
If you look at the bottom of the screens, the teams with the green on the top, they are the ones that currently will be in that final later today.
Oh, fantastic pictures there. Watching these little AC40s dancing around on the foils as they jibe, the crew getting buffeted around. It's an exciting ride, and one that these boys will be enjoying very much. Fantastic racing.
Just cruising down on this course here in Jeddah. 4 of the 6 boats hitting 40 knots plus, and they are doing just what they are built to do. It is so good to see this, and the whole fleet and our view.
You can just see Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli there, just sliding the boat around across the waves. The rudder and the foil arms there, just on the edge of grip there. These guys are sailing the boat beautifully. You've got to be on the edge of grip to be fast, and that's exactly what these guys are doing now.
The other part of the equation here right now is they said, and I think they spoke to you, Shirley, they said, we can beat them. I think they were referring to Emirates Team New Zealand. So psychologically, if they had to win this race, and that would probably put them into the final. A little bit of a statement, lads. Here we come.
There is a massive energy around the Italian team. I was there this morning. They're so excited and fearless. But remember, the Kiwis are already in the final. They do not need a result here.
And the team about to round the bottom mark wants to be in that final. And right now, they're doing enough to be there if they can win this race. That's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli flying around that bottom mark. Then it's American Magic hunting those two down, Emirates Team New Zealand. And we'll round that opposing mark to American Magic, followed by a little bit of a touchdown there from Orient Express Racing, and they've just given a little bit of room to Ineos Britannia to potentially pick up 4th position. Let's just see how that one plays out on the upwind leg. Philippe Presti, the coach of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, is on the chase boat. Philippe, what did you say to the boys ahead of this first race?
Just enjoy it. Beautiful conditions. Now we had a tough prep. We couldn't sail because we had smoke on board, and the tech team and our shore team did an awesome job to make us on the line. It was amazing, and we just released the boat 5 minutes before the start. We asked a delay, and we just made it. And what the boys are doing is just great.
How satisfying is a coach to see this team as a whole perform like this?
This is crazy. You know, so much energy, and also the young and they're eager to learn.
All right, keep smiling, Philippe. Appreciate the time. We'll talk again as we see Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, a good 160, 70 metres ahead of American Magic.
They're learning fast, Stephen, and they seem to have a slight advantage upwind, Glenn, don't you think? They always extend on these upwind legs.
Yeah, they're sailing the boat beautifully, and I think at the end of the day, those situations that Philippe was talking about, being able to deal with adversity, deal with pressure, that's what it's all about. It's being able to execute well in any situation, and what an experience for the young team here.
You know that when you're 19 years old, you think you can do everything.
Yeah, you're made of rubber and springs when you're 19 years old. When you're 46, it's a little different story, but no, they're doing a great job, and they'll be absolutely trying to keep their goggles clear the whole way around the track and doing a brilliant job.
Good race also for the Americans. I spoke to Terry Hutchison, the CEO, and they were so frustrated yesterday. They couldn't stop the bleed. They would start well and then just eke back in the fleet. So today, though, they look like a different boat.
To Leyland. Leyland boundary very similar here.
Put in. And we're right here, unfortunately.
Bad timing.
3, 2, 1, put down. I think just keep going normal, just for the fringe. Bottom your line again.
Just on the edge of stuff here, it feels like.
I think we'll both be going a bit. Yes.
Penultimate leg of race number 7. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli still in the lead as they head towards that top mark for a final time and look towards those maximum points that should shove them into the match race final. Final attack.
Your call in 2, 1, wait. Oh.
And around they go. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the green above their flag, denoting that they are at this point in the match race final. In comes American Magic. Then hot on their stern will be Emirates Team New Zealand, already in the match race final, but they will not want to be upstaged here today.
And away we go, full wheel.
Board is coming up.
French split, they're not around yet.
So, Pete, it's all on, and the Italians in control.
Sailing beautifully, and they're really consistent on both boards. Both the helmsmen are very even in terms of their performance. Upwind, especially on port, which is Marco Gradoni's side of the boat, they look really in phase. We were lucky enough to be right behind them up their transom, and looking at them going upwind, certainly they look to be moding slightly different to American Magic. But American Magic made some quite nice gains on that second upwind leg, third upwind leg.
So half the course to go for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Just behind them, about 120 metres, American Magic. Then it's Emirates Team New Zealand.
The line is coming in 25.
Ruggiero Tita there, and Vittorio Bassaro on the right-hand side of the boat, having been fed information from the leeward side of the boat there on their next manoeuvre. Comms all important in getting these boats around the track in good shape.
The team thought about sending young trimmers, a whole young team, but in the end have sent really experienced trimmers, and I think you hear that in the comms, Glenn. It is very calm, very collected.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, experience is absolutely key on these boats, and the trimmers on all these boats are really the ones. They're the throttle men, if you like, of the boat. They control the power, they control the roll, and in the end of the day, they're the ones that make the helmsman look good.
So it will be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli to win race 7 and confirm a spot in the match race final. They have done it again and crossed the finish line here in Jeddah. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli making a statement to Emirates Team New Zealand. And boy, I cannot wait for race number 8. And the games begin before we hit the match race final as American Magic almost wallow their way across the line in second position to take the 7 points. And Emirates Team New Zealand will complete the podium for that 5 points. But they'll have a good look at that race. Orient Express Racing picking up P4. Ineos Britannia picking up P5. And Lingy Red Bull Racing, their chance at pushing Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli all the way through race 8 has disappeared. And they will finish in P6, the last in the fleet. What a race by Luna Rossa. I know we say it again.
Look, they shouldn't be complaining at all. A really, really nice race there. Not the best of starts getting off the line there, but wow, they really sailed the boat accurately around there and really pushed the ride height hard, set up in a nice low drag setting downwind, and were really sliding the boat around. So really making the foils work hard, but lifting the boat up high means you're dragging less foil through the water, which ends in better speeds.
So what do we make about that? What do we think about that? Do we say they have now made a statement to Emirates Team New Zealand, knowing that they will be in that match race final?
Look, it's it's going to be a good battle either way, how you look at it. And I think Emirates Team New Zealand doing a nice job there, getting the boat around the track in good shape. The only thing that could really muck Team New Zealand up now is actually breaking the boat or making an unforced error. So they really just need to keep the wheels facing down, the rig in the air, so to speak, and actually keep the boat in good shape so they can execute in the final.
It's busy, it's congested. I mean, they just need to stay away from all that, sail their own race, and not get caught up in the drama.
Let's go on board Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Marco Gradoni, congratulations, nice race. How satisfied are you at that result?
I think we had a good start. We sailed well around the course, and we had a good first downwind. It was pretty close with the France and with New Zealand, but we sailed fast. We have to keep doing like this. And I think now mathematically we are in the match race, so I think our focus now should be to stay calm and let's start thinking about the match race.
Marco, we've done the maths here, and you are in that final race, and we'll talk about that perhaps a little bit later, but it took you a leg and a half to get ahead. Why so long?
Sorry, I couldn't understand the question.
That's all right. Enjoy the celebrations with Max Serena, and we'll speak to you a little later. Well done.
Thank you.
So there you go, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli into the match race. This is how it all happened.
Well, at the start, Emirates Team New Zealand, they flew off that line at pace and in control. By the time we got to Mark 1, they led round Mark 1, and behind them, France. What an amazing first leg they had.
Yeah, some really good action on the downwind there. All the boats doing a really good job getting down the bottom of the course. Emirates Team New Zealand, just a little wobbly jibe. The French over their bow and into the lead coming down to the bottom gate.
By the time we got to leg 2, it was the Italians taking the lead, something they did not want to give up. Behind them, so close round those marks. And the finish, well, they held it from leg 2, and it was all the Italians.
So this is the key moment.
Yeah, for me, this key moment in this race was really the unfortunate jibe there with Emirates Team New Zealand. Just coming off the foils, really struggling to get the boat accelerated out of the jibe, and you'll watch the French come down here as well as Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, straight across the bow of Emirates Team New Zealand, and then Emirates Team New Zealand really the meat between the sandwich on the way downwind.
If you want to go on board, this is exactly what happened, Glenn.
Yeah, dropping the board there. Oh, there you go. All 2 foils out of the water there, and a wobbly exit. That's really washing off a lot of speed. Difficult conditions. And yeah, washing off a lot of speed. You only have to do a wobble like that and you just see how quickly the other boats will come flying by.
Slowly. Nice. All clear.
So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have picked up race number 7, and look what that's done. It puts them clearly ahead of Alinghi Red Bull Racing. So at the top of the tree now, it's still Emirates Team New Zealand, but they will face Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli in the match race. You can just imagine the psycho babble going on in both teams about how they attack race number 8 to get that mental edge ahead of the match race. And this is how they did it.
Yeah, looking at some of the stats here. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, 99.6% flight time there, but only 17 manoeuvres versus American Magic's 20. So, you know, that's a big gain, 251 metres at the close of the race, the difference.
So that's how the Italians did it, and now we just sit back and wait for the final fleet race here in Jeddah. And the talk of the town here in Jeddah, well, that's Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. The new Hellman combination have been given the keys to the AC40. They have not let Italy down. In fact, they've excelled, and this has become a career-making opportunity. As 19-year-old Marco Gradoni says, they are living the dream.
We've got an amazing pool of talent in every area of the sailing team, and we've given these young guys a run, and it's been a really good decision.
I'm Marco Gradoni and I am 19 years old. I won 3 times Optimist World Championship, and in 2019 I won World Sailor of the Year. Today it's my first day in a preliminary regatta. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm happy to sail with Italy, with Luna Rossa, and it's a big deal, but I want to do my best, so I don't have a lot of pressure.
My name is Ruggero Tita, 31 years old. I won 4 times the European Championship, 3 times the World Championship, and I'm reigning Olympic champion in the NACRA 17. It's a really big chance for me to sail here for Luna Rossa. I'm super happy about that. Max gave us a big chance. We are pretty new of the boat, we are a very new team. We didn't have so much time to spend in the water, but yeah, we're gonna push the limit and do our best.
Nerves are starting to jangle as we approach race start in race number 3.
Winning that start, the young Marco Gradoni from Luna Rossa.
These guys are gelling really well, remembering that they've only done like probably less than 10 days sailing together.
The twin helm of Ruggero Tita and Marco Gradoni doing the job at the moment.
You know, you've got the young Marco and you've got the more experienced, battle-hardened Ruggero, and I think they actually are a bit like complementary, you know. One, when the temperature rises in one area, you know, they can know how to drop it, and I think they're getting the best out of each other right now.
There you have it, win number 1 in Jeddah for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
The first 2 races were a bit ice-breaking, but then we managed to break the ice and pull off a very good race, a win, which is also probably the first win of Luna Rossa in the AC40.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, they will win race number 4.
I've seen a handful of really impressive things, I'd say, in my sailing career, and the performance of the Italian team, Luna Rossa, these youngsters coming in, it's really impressive.
I'm proud of the 2 races that we won in these 2 days, but it's a team effort, teamwork, we all won, and we are sailing well, but I mean, we are living the dream, no? So it would be nice to come out from Jeddah with a win, but we don't have a lot of expectation. We just have to keep sailing well and enjoy the trip.
Crowds have turned out here on the Red Sea and in Jeddah to watch this final day of racing, and it is going to be a key one because we know who our final combatants are, but let's talk about the minor placings. You know, American Magic got out of it, they start to pull it out, and they need to do something.
Yeah, look, you know, it's an absolute redemption day, as I've said, for American Magic. They'll be looking to really smash this last race out of the park. You know, they need a good one to make amends, if you like, for that sort of first couple of races, and I think they'll be definitely putting their foot to the floor, and surely the other teams aren't going to let them have it on a silver platter.
We will not see these sailors perform until next August. If you're in the sailing team, it's important.
Sailors.
So everyone keep aiming this way.
So our goal as the Saudi Sailing Federation is mainly to increase participation and increase awareness, especially that sailing is for everyone, all different ages, different genders, all different groups. We really want to increase that awareness to inspire people. It just has so many benefits and something for everyone. The Federation has been really supporting and encouraging centres such as JYC here, the Academy, in terms of, helping ease accessibility to the water, and also creating programs that raise this awareness and introduce everybody.
So you guys are just going to balance the boats out.
Sailing, it's a growing sport in Saudi, and the Federation try to help that by hosting a big event like America's Cup and the Citrus event, and run some local regattas. And we have now 3 sailing centers, and to be increased in the few years in the future, inshallah.
Here at the Jeddah Yacht Club Academy, we've been working with all the local community, and we have a variety of ages from children aged 7 all the way up through to adults.
Sides, swap sides, but aim straight at that other marker. Good job, boys.
The goal of the academy is just basically get as many people as we can involved in sailing and water sports, and just getting everyone out on the water, including everyone.
The goal to increase women participation and encourage women and support women, and we've had a lot of interest with women's sailing programs. They're just so enthusiastic and so ambitious, and it's really great to see. The ultimate goal for the Federation is really to transform this sport and educate and reconnect our culture to its heritage, which is deeply rooted in our heritage, given that we have so much coastline. And hopefully one day we'll see a Saudi compete or participate in the Olympics, and maybe one day even have an America's Cup Saudi team.
The kids, they are excited to have America's Cup there. They see the boats fast and foiling and flying on the sea. That's really something new to the kids, see something like that in Jeddah.
I want American Magic to win the America's Cup this week. Luna Rossa.
I want Ineos to win the America's Cup.
They would like... Magnificent scenes of Jeddah, the Formula One track that took about 2 years to build, and it is one of the fastest racing tracks going around. Well, the racing track off the coast of Jeddah is pretty quick as well, and that's the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta, and they have been honking along at around 40 odd knots as we see construction go on around this magnificent city of about 5 million people, and a temperature today around, it's felt like 38, but sitting around 32, 33 degrees. We remind you of the point standing with one fleet race still to go. Emirates Team New Zealand and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli will be in the match race final, but look at the battle for the minors, and particularly for that final podium position. Despite finishing down the track in that last race, Alingi Red Bull Racing hanging on by their nails to P3, but Ineos Britannia and New York American Magic well in the hunt right now. Alingi Red Bull Racing, they just wanted to get going, just didn't happen for them today. Let's go onto the water with Peter Lester in this battle now for the final podium position. Peter, how do each team approach this?
Well, I think they just need to go for the win. It's intriguing, and Alingi Red Bull Racing have that small advantage. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Ineos Britannia go up against American Magic. There's only a point between those two boats, and they are red hot. I mean, Ben Ainsley against Tom Slingsby, who would want more? I mean, the conditions are good. Look, the start is so important, so strong if you get off clean. What I'm seeing at the moment, it looks about the same wind. It might be down a click. It's clear, and it looks like the sea state is about the same, but it's all on for that third, fourth, fifth.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate that. There's Ineos Britannia. Well, they sort of flatlined a little bit in this first 2 days. We were looking at them going, here they come, and then they just sort of flatlined, didn't they, Shirley?
Well, of course, they had a terrible Villanova, finished dead last, and really kind of prioritised this week and came out in practice flying, but we just haven't really seen them push.
American Magic, though, we talked about pride, we talked about what was the line you said? You don't lose your talent overnight.
Yeah, you don't lose the memory or lose the knowledge or lose your talent overnight. And these guys definitely are putting themselves in a position now to really want to get off the start line in this last race and redeem. They want to do it not only for themselves, they want to do it for the wider team and their sponsors. It's a lot of pressure on these guys to have a good race.
If we go back to the top of the pile, and the one word that is now stuck in my head when it comes to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli is momentum. Momentum and confidence. There's the second word, because we always talk about that, but that is huge.
Massive confidence and massive learning. As they said in the VT, they've done 8 days before they came here, but they are learning all the time. They're hungry for more, and you could feel the energy, couldn't you, within the team?
Yeah, having that hunger is absolutely crucial to move forwards, and there's absolutely no question that these young guys don't have any hunger. Balanced though with some experience and some good people around them, and the opportunity from their team to step into that situation. What a wonderful opportunity, and hats off to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli to give them that opportunity to have a go.
When you look at someone like Philippe Presti, who is such a wonderful individual, and how calm he is, they are learning in a really comfortable environment.
This is race committee. The course for race 8 is course 6. Course 6. Axis is 305. Length is 1.35 nautical miles. Good luck.
So we are clear to go for the final fleet race of this Neon America's Cup Preliminary Regatta, and it's Emirates Team New Zealand who were first into the match race final. So what's the thinking here? You've got the Italian team and you've got the Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender of the 37th America's Cup. And this race is about what?
Looking after the gear. I can hear the words of the Shaw crew boss now, just saying keep it in one piece, and I think team boss Grant Dalton will be definitely thinking that, as well as will coach Ray Davies with the rest of the team. Just keep it in one piece. No one's going to really mind who wins or loses this race at Emirates Team New Zealand, but they will definitely be looking at who wins the next race after this one in the match race final.
Manage the assets. That is the key, and stay out of the tussle for that 3rd place on the podium, because that is going to be hot.
Ineos Britannia hunting that final podium spot in the fleet racing here.
They are maybe trying to follow us. We're boundary coming quick. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, going to get up onto the back of the Kiwis here. Potential board up here. Yeah, there you go.
Inside the last 60 seconds of the final fleet race here in Jeddah before the match race final. 2 stories to unfold. Who will win the minor placing? Who gets the last spot on the podium? And the other one, will Emirates Team New Zealand and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have a little go at each other?
Well, that'd be nice and spicy if we did get to see that, but I think the comms from both teams there from the pits would be basically look after the gear, survive this one, and then it's all on for the next race. So only 24, 23 seconds coming up here. Ineos Britannia tacking into leeward there, dictating the fleet there. They're going to want to have to put the pace on. A little slow down there by Orient Express Racing. Luna Rossa Port start coming to the start here.
Slowly coming up, boys.
Link is the last one. Okay, up racing course.
I think we're over.
Penalty, OCS USA, get behind penalty. It was.
Okay. Stand by, board down. No, I can't. Board down.
So we are now underway in race number 8, the final fleet race here on the Red Sea in Jeddah, and they must feel like they've something against them, against another OCS for USA over the last 3 days, and away we go.
Oh, American Magic must have only been just over there. Such a shame for American Magic.
USA, you have about 50 metres.
Penalty, of course, is to get 75 metres behind the other boats that have started correctly. It's quite hard to gauge that as well from in the boat.
USA, 15 metres.
Let's go on to the water, Peter. How close was that start and were the boats to the line?
Penalty clear, penalty clear.
It was close. It was very close, and USA have just been plagued through the race, through the regatta here in Jeddah with mistakes and little errors of judgment. And unfortunately, the last race, that's very costly. I'm over by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They're out to windward, and they look really strong, pushing forward. In the middle, we've got, again, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli coming across on starboard. I think Alinghi must be, you'll be able to judge, I think they're ahead. Emirates Team New Zealand playing conservatively in the middle of the track.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing there, really getting off the start line well there, getting a nice clean tack in, moving forwards. This will be what the team wants. Crossing quite comfortably here. There is a big battle going on behind them. They just need to keep sending it across there. It's what they need to do to retain that podium position.
Dégagé pas? Non, c'est bien. Ok. En déficit, tu peux presser pour...
It looks so close when you look from that onboard camera. Scarily close.
Yeah, good close racing at 30 knots of boat speed, just with someone only a few metres away. It's really, really fantastic to watch.
Beautiful shot. Alinghi Red Bull Racing, they came in here to this event knowing they were fast, but just haven't been able to get across the line in good shape. But today, for this final fleet race, they have.
I think when Alinghi Red Bull Racing come across here, I've got them almost bow on bow with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They'll be accelerating out of that tack. Got them just ahead at the moment, but it is going to be a relatively close cross coming through here. Luna Rossa again, sailing pretty nicely.
Swiss team on starboard have all the rights.
Come up. Okay, happy to tack whenever you want.
3, 2, 1, 4 down and going.
Another close cross in the last quarter of the first leg in the final race. Race number 8 here in Jeddah of the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta.
Let's anticipate the turn.
Good look at what the wind is doing at the top mark, and first around is Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Something they should have and could have and wanted to do in race number 7 as they lead around. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, Emirates Team New Zealand, third around the opposite mark, followed by Ineos Britannia. In 5th position, it will be Orient Express Racing, and of course, American Magic, hampered by that OCS at the start. Let's take a look at another OCS by American Magic and how close it was.
Oh yeah, look, you can just see the American Magic team there, about half a boat width over the line when the gun went. Just a slight trigger pull too early there, and unfortunately OCS, and that'll be the end of their regatta. Coming through a little bit, but you know, it's a long way back to the front of the fleet from the back from there.
Of course, it's not the actual boat, it's the sort of electronic boat, the rhomboid that goes around it, and that's so tough.
Pete, have conditions changed on the water?
Yeah, the breeze has just lightened off a little bit. We saw that at the top of the course. And what you've got now is a little less breeze, and of course you've still got the leftover seaway as we see Alinghi Red Bull Racing to sail around the bow of Emirates Team New Zealand. But I'm really impressed by the pace of Luna Rossa, as the New Zealanders took advantage of that little change in the weather conditions. They went over to the left and managed to come back in a bit of right-hand shift to jump into 2nd place, with Ineos Britannia just to windward of Emirates Team New Zealand.
They're not far away from their final jibe into the bottom gate there. Alinghi, oh, wobbly jibe, Alinghi, oh, they've had a shocker on the far side of the course. This is going to be painful for them. Emirates Team New Zealand now taking the lead. That's not a good jibe by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They'll be quite frustrated with that. They need to keep the wheels on and get it down to the bottom in good shape.
There is no room for errors in these AC40s.
Oh, and Ineos Britannia having a bad jibe. It must be getting bumpy out there. Giles Scott, Ben Ainsley, I can hear the frustration on board, and they have had an absolute barrier there, almost a capsize.
Just pacing it up here,
Real big trouble there. They've just managed to save it. Apologies for the colourful language there, but that will be frustrating.
Lee Red Bull Racing have got themselves out of a bit of bother, and they will rip around the bottom muck. Whoa! That just gives you an indication what the conditions are like, but they've saved it. A much smoother rounding in the back of the picture by Emirates Team New Zealand. And look out, here comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli hunting down Lingy Red Bull Racing. And just quietly, on the other side, Orient Express.
Yeah, nice rounding, Orient Express Racing, but also Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Huge gains there, doing a nice bottom mark rounding. Massive, massive gains there. It's all about good corner speed in this type of racing.
This is what happened at Ineos Britannia.
We can see the rig unloading there, dropped the board down and basically slowing down. Flight control very critical in these turns.
Our apologies for the colourful language coming off Ineos Britannia. Frustration mounting in race number 8.
They make it look so easy for 99% of the time, Glenn, but you get a glimpse, don't you, in those moments, just how hard it is to keep the wheels on.
Let's go on board the chase boat for Emirates Team New Zealand, and Ray Davies is watching closely, probably on the edge of his seat, Ray. But what are conditions like out there?
No, they just didn't want to go for a split. They didn't want to go for a split. They like this side. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, was just checking on the conditions, Ryan, and seeing other teams being errors forced on them.
Oh yeah, no, it's all on out here. The conditions are pretty tough, as you can see. One bad manoeuvre and you lose truckloads. So yeah, everyone's having turns at those today.
The boss is sitting beside you, just quietly. Don't hand him the microphone, but how's he handling this one?
It's a little on edge, to be honest.
Let's leave it at that. Thanks for your time, Ray.
Nice, mate.
Yeah, close cross coming up here. Emirates Team New Zealand having to make the call whether to cross or duck or tack. And they've basically tacked there to control, the two boats behind. Really confident boat handling there in these conditions.
How good does that look? How good does that look? 3 boats just hammering down, and should I say upward, on the third leg of 6. So this is heading towards the halfway mark of the final fleet race.
The lovely shot there. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli just slowly slipping down. It's such a tough spot to stay in.
A really nice move there by Emirates Team New Zealand, actually affecting both boats behind, so really putting the elbows out, dictating the control, and that's experience.
I think they're having a little warm-up, Stephen, for the final.
Well, you just know this is going to be all on, but there's just a sense of that competitive edge now really starting to play out in this final fleet race. And why wouldn't you? You're up against the defenders. You've been given an opportunity to say, actually, we'll have a crack at this.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we'll see here play out over the next minute or so is Lingy Red Bull Racing will just be hurting a little bit compared to Luna Rossa and Emirates Team New Zealand there. If they can hang in there and actually make that right turn and make it down to the bottom, they will finish on the podium for this regatta here in Jeddah.
3 boats flying into the top mark to complete the halfway mark of this 8th fleet race. Emirates Team New Zealand will be followed around by Lingy Red Bull Racing. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli will take the opposite mark, and they will round in 3rd position. It doesn't matter where they finish, but they will want to finish high on the points board here just for this race, to know that they are in the zone for the match race. Finally, you're seeing the chase boats bouncing around. It must be as rough as guts out there.
Well, you look at the umpire boat there, ripping around the course, keeping an eye on things on the water. The amount of water that's bouncing around compared to these AC40s, I wouldn't want to be either that boat or on that boat at the moment as an umpire, but on board Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli here, as smooth as silk at the moment, coming downwind here, sailing the boat really nicely. Emirates Team New Zealand and Alinghi on the far side of the course. Emirates Team New Zealand a little lead there, but very even with Alinghi Red Bull Racing and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Andiamo 80 e 60.
Very quiet.
Looks like the right gate at the top is very strong.
Yes.
Very calm, very controlled. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli must have been listening into Emirates Team New Zealand's comp, because that's what we normally associate with that. Let's go on board Emirates Team New Zealand and just see how they're going as they approach the bottom mark.
I don't know how you guys...
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, nice. Nice move. A quicker, but it's nice. Lifting a little there now.
20 seconds to lay. We just want to go slightly past for middle of lane, middle of the gate. Prada across our transom down. Ah. 7 seconds, so we're not far from transitioning here, Pete.
Yeah, just working down the lane. Yeah.
Another 5.
2. And we're down.
Happy. 2, 1 and board. Nice.
Yeah, much better jibe there on Emirates Team New Zealand. That's what the boys will be wanting to see. Alinghi Red Bull Racing only a few seconds behind there, doing 39 knots in behind them. They'll be really wanting to make sure that both boats get round the mark here cleanly. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli not far behind Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Emirates Team New Zealand are heading into the bottom mark. Complete leg number 4 and then head upwind for the final time. Just throwing that boat around the mark, followed closely by an early leader in this race, which was Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And then closely in comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Oh, gentle race, bit of a... There's some chop there, isn't there?
Yeah, Alinghi Red Bull Racing, big slide on the far side there around the mark. Only just managed to hang on to that manoeuvre, so really loose.
Look at the speed in both Orient Express Racing and American Magic coming into the marks. They're coming in at 42 plus knots.
Then we've seen some boats go round that mark, do that difficult manoeuvre with 2 boards, and other ones just kind of fly around.
Yeah, the 2 boards down, a little more grip. The 1 board, faster, but not quite as easy to do.
Onto the water with Peter Lester. What do you make of it so far with 2 legs to go, Pete?
Well, it's certainly looking good for Alinghi Red Bull Racing if they can just hang it together to take out that 3rd spot overall. But what I was looking at, it was that bottom mark gate exit, and the 2 boats that actually did the most efficient bottom round entry and exit was Emirates Team New Zealand from one side, and then American Magic. Tom Slingsby came round, they were heading right towards us. They had minimal leeway, American Magic, when they left the mark.
Next line here, probably good whenever.
Yeah, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli getting the squeeze put on them there by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. This is going to be hurting. They're not going to be gaining there. You can see the boat speed 23 knots as they tack. They couldn't live there, so unfortunately now tacking, having to clear their area.
And again, handing advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand. You know, worrying about what else someone else is doing while someone else is just bombing the rest of the field.
Okay, Alinghi is going on the right. I would say just focus on speed and we see. Yeah. But we cannot go 1 and in. Just to let you know.
You have to plan, don't you? You have to talk about things way before you get there.
20.
Yeah, it's a game of water chess here. And these teams all know how to play that game pretty well. A lot of practice and great communications.
Okay, stand by. Go. 2, 1, board down, and turning.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, one half of the match race final here at the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta here in Jeddah. And ahead of them, going to the last quarter of the course, their opponent, Emirates Team New Zealand. They'll be enjoying this. They'd like to hang on and win this one, just to give the Italians a little reminder of who they are playing against.
The Kiwis are so polished, aren't they? If they get a little bit of space, if they get away from the carnage, we just see them gently extend and extend.
Making a fast build here.
What's the line, Shirley? You cannot buy experience. And that's what that highlights, as simple as that, right? And that's what this Italian team will be watching going, ah, that's how it works.
Out at the moment.
Emirates Team New Zealand. Final rounding of the top mark as they head home in race number 8.
Yeah, a little early if you can.
Nice and clean they go and head downwind on the home leg.
I could just see him under the jib.
Elingi Red Bull Racing will follow them around the same mark.
Anytime.
I was setting up here.
So too will Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. American Magic coming at the opposite mark. There's Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. American Magic followed by Orient Express Racing. And in the background we saw that Ineos Britannia. Ooh. Rough little rounding by American Magic. Here come Orient Express Racing.
Not how you want to do it. I'll be right, they'll get the boat dug out. Apparent wind would have swung really far off there, so a difficult job for the trimmers now to get the flow reattached. Watching the boat coming around here, an ease, and then a bow down windward heel, washing a huge amount of speed off, basically pumping the handbrake on hard there. Not ideal.
Hang on, problems for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Oh, they've had a bad jibe as well. Again, trying to get the boat rebuilt there, doing a nice job. Very difficult for the trimmers here as the apparent wind swings around. Getting a little rougher here. I just want to get it down to the bottom in good shape. To the pits. Just be nice to have it. Here we go. Watching Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli through the jibe. Just having a look here. Oh, bang. Punched out the back of a wave there. Right at the wrong time. Little unlucky. Great recovery, though, from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. That could have easily been a lot worse than it was.
Conditions that could play a part in the match race final.
Absolutely. All these teams, a lot of family and friends watching. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that support, but watching Emirates Team New Zealand come down here, 41 knots, 42 knots. What a great job.
If you love your sailing and you love speed, you cannot be disappointed that what has been served up on 8 fleet races here in Jeddah. And Emirates Team New Zealand will take win number 5 for the regatta. And they will sail strongly into that match race final against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Great finish by Elingi Red Bull Racing. They've been consistent throughout this whole regatta. If they come home in P2, they'll feel good about that because it has been a challenging race, this 8th race, for all of the fleet. And that's not a good sight ahead of a match race final. Probably everything's okay.
From the French.
Orient Express Racing crossing the finish line, dragging the boat across the line, and Ineos Britannia, who just, well, you heard it all. We didn't have to explain what was going on, but they will cross the line and come home in 5th position.
Learn a lot from this. It's going to help us for training as it is.
We heard Benning say already on the debrief, lots of learnings, not just from today, but this whole event.
So Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli doesn't look in the greatest nick there, does it?
Yeah, no, not really sure what's going on there with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. We'll try and get a bit of an update for everybody on what's actually happened there. They possibly had a bit of a mechanical after that jibe. Looks like they're just spiking off now to make their way back down to the bottom of the course. Spiking off the chase boat's generally a good thing. You'll see the foil arms come out from the dock position, which is fully down.
Lee confirming you have retired with because you're getting outside helper.
Umpire Richards, they just confirming them. They have retired. There's a rather large America's Cup. Looks fantastic here. Just a quick look at the points, and that's after 8 fleet races. Confirmation, Emirates Team New Zealand and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli will race the match race, and 3rd position does go to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. So just this is how it started. We started with 6 teams, we end with 2, and that will be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and Emirates Team New Zealand, defender of the 37th America's Cup. Peter Burling is standing by on Emirates Team New Zealand. Well, that was a solid effort, don't you think, Pete, ahead of the match race?
Yeah, it's nice to tidy up a few things. Felt like we did a lot nicer job of it than the race before. And just, yeah, feeling more and more comfortable as time goes on in these boats. Yeah, looking forward to one shot with Prada to win it all here.
Oh, Pete, it's Lenny here. Are you going to go easy on these young Italian guys, or are you going to show them who's experienced and who's boss?
Well, I think these waves, it's a bit of a balance on how hard you go versus how easy you take it. But yeah, we're definitely going to give it our all and try and have a good race. Hopefully they don't have any issues with whatever happened with that withdrawal in the last race. But yeah, looking forward to a match race.
Congratulations, Pete. It was great watching that race. You know, how much of a reset is it from the fleet races we've had to this, the battle between 2 boats?
To be honest, once you get around the course, a lot of it's just speed and manoeuvres, right? So that part of it, I think, is exactly the same. Obviously, to start, you only got to worry about 1 boat rather than 5. So that'll be a little bit of a difference, but yeah, we're just looking forward to doing a match race. You know, the America's Cups.
All right, Pete.
You've got to win a match race at the end of it, so that's great to have the practice.
Fair play, Pete. Hydrate up. We'll see you in the match race. There you go, Emirates Team New Zealand.
New Zealand, this is the race committee. As the overall leader of the fleet racing, you get to pick your entry side for the match. Please confirm if you would like to enter on port or starboard.
Yeah, hey Mel, we're happy to go port.
Copy. New Zealand port, Italy starboard.
So port start in the match race. Let's remind you how this one unfolded. It was a good start. I think the Alinghi Red Bull race.
It was a great start, wasn't it, Stephen? Except for if you were a USA fan, just over the line and a penalty.
Penalty, OCS,
Screaming
USA,
off that line.
USA,
Ineos Britannia leading the way. Oh, and there we have it. Look at that, just a metre over the line.
Very, very nice job by Alinghi Red Bull Racing around the top mark in 1st position there, followed by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
And in this leg, a bad jibe for Switzerland. Lost all their pace, left the door open for Emirates Team New Zealand.
Yeah, not the tidiest of manoeuvres there at the bottom. Alinghi just surviving that bottom mark rounding. Could have easily gone pear-shaped there.
Well, at the finish, another masterclass by Emirates Team New Zealand. And a great result from Alinghi to finish 3rd.
Yeah, just a key moment here on the downwind. Just having a look at the teams coming down here. The jibe by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. You see the boat doing a little bit of a porpoise there, just punching out the back of a wave. And you see how quickly the rest of the fleet mows them down as they try and re-accelerate the boat. Gate 2 coming down to the bottom here. Oh, just a little late down there with the board down, a little windward touchdown, and you can see the resulting aftermath of that. A really good job there by the trimmers to actually save that. Really, really could have gone not the way they wanted there. This is on board Emirates Team New Zealand, watching Alinghi Red Bull Racing come down, and just a little late there with the board down, half a second late, but absolutely could have been the end of Alinghi Red Bull Racing's regatta there, ending up on their side.
So a quick look at the race summary before we start our focus on the match race final. And as you can see, Emirates Team New Zealand, 19 manoeuvres to get the job done, as opposed to 15 to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Makes interesting reading.
And look at the flight time, Stephen. They were smooth. They make it look easy, the Kiwis. The harder it gets, almost the better they look.
So that's all in the rear view mirror now, because now our focus goes on the match race final. So Emirates Team New Zealand have decided that they will take port entry. It'll be Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. They'll have starboard entry. So now we talk about the head game. I love the head game, even when these teams have been fighting over 8 fleet races. If you're Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, I wonder what Philippe Presti is saying right now.
I asked Philippe before they went out today if they'd had a bit of a briefing about match racing, and he said no. He didn't want to fill their heads with it, but he was going to come up with a plan right now. He was going to draw it out for them.
The America's Cup has always been synonymous with secrecy. Secrecy! Traditionally, teams go to great lengths to keep their boats under wraps, but the AC40 is different. One design boat, so given there's nothing to hide, here's Emirates Team New Zealand's Nathan Arridge to unlock some of the secrets of these flying monohulls.
Welcome to the Emirates Team New Zealand base. Normally cameras aren't allowed inside these bases at all, but we thought today's a perfect opportunity to show everyone the AC40, the one design boat that's been raced for the Youth and Women's Cup, all the World Series events, and all the teams have got one of these as well. So this is the AC40 on the deck. Big traveller here at the back. We've got the whole control system sitting on the deck for the mainsail. The cockpit here, you've got 2 seats. And interestingly, on this boat, the drivers or the skippers or the helmsmen or whatever you want to call them sit in the front. Normally they'd be sitting right at the very back of the boat, but it's a pretty unique situation. The steering wheel's right in front of you and you've got an unobstructed view out the front of the boat. 2 stations for phones here. This side here is all about like the performance, you know, how fast the boat's going, all your settings. And over here you'll have all the information about the race course. It'll tell you where you are on the race course, how long to the start, how long to the boundary. And I'm hoping we'll get to a point where they'll start displaying the other boat on there too, so you can really get a good idea of where you are, because you can't see through any of these sails, so you have no idea where your competition is. In terms of button and switches, we'll start on the outboard side first. So you've got a board up button and a board down button. The trim plus, trim minus buttons, that's all to do with the autopilot system. So you can set all the settings and the boat will sail itself in terms of its flight. In our test boat, we have the ability to use the autopilot and manually, and I can guarantee you 100%, the one design boat is significantly easier to sail. But having said that, we still have to put inputs into the boat. So we still have to decide what is the sink target, how much ride height do we have, what is the trim of the boat, and where do we put the cans. It might sound like it sails itself because it's got an autopilot, but there's still a lot of human inputs that need to happen to make the boat work. On the other side here is all to do with the foil. And if you ever push the wrong button, you can easily just hit the cancel button here and that just freezes the boat and you can redo your commands. So the final thing, and probably the most important thing to look at on this boat, is what we call the ultrasonic. It's what senses how the boat's flying. It's shooting a beam down at the water and it's sensing how far the boat is off the water. And that's what makes the AC40 fly. As you can probably see right now, this boat's getting packed up as we speak. So hope you enjoy the tour, and we'll see you up there.
Beautiful wind here on Jeddah, the Red Sea, and there are your two combatants for the match race final for the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta. Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender of the 37th America's Cup, and beside them will be Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, who quite simply have stunned everybody with the way they have sailed this week, with Ruggiero Tita and Marco Gradoni on the helm in place of Francesco Bruni and Jimmy Spittle. Emirates Team New Zealand will really want this win, considering they didn't really get a chance to, well, they didn't get a chance to race American Magic into Villanova. It was a no contest in many ways, and there is the team.
Yeah, Emirates Team New Zealand here. Blair Tuke, Nathan Outridge, Peter Burling and Andy Maloney. They've seen the movie before. They've just got to get out there now and execute this plan for not just themselves, but the wider team.
Emirates Team New Zealand just getting themselves worked up for the pre-start.
Well, let's look at the Italians. I mean, Olympic champion Ruggiero Tita and 19-year-old Marco Gradoni have given both America's Cup fans and the Italian fans an exciting glimpse into the future. The young talent is backed up by Luna Rossa's experienced trimming abilities of Umberto Molineris and Vittorio Bessaro.
So it's the pretenders against the big dogs. Let's put it like that. And there's nothing better in sport when you get to a situation like that, where Nathan Outridge has said, we haven't seen them match race. Philippe Presti says, I think he said to you, wasn't it? Shirley, he said, better go back and teach them how to match race.
Yeah, they have never match raced. He said he'd come up with a plan if they made it to the final. But, you know, what do you do in that position, Glenn? You can't overcomplicate it.
Look, I think at the end of the day, the whole team at Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli would be absolutely stoked the fact they've even just made it to the final. Whether they win or they lose here, the fact that they've made it through to a match race final at an America's Cup World Series is absolutely incredible with the amount of time that they've had on the boat, and they should all be extremely proud of themselves, and what a fantastic achievement straight away.
Well, Marco Gradoni, as we have discovered throughout this regatta, is a very softly spoken young man. And in the interview during the earlier races today, he said there is no expectation. We have no expectation on us. We just want to go and do what we have been taught to do. But you know they want to win. Let's go into the water with Peter Lester. So, Peter, it's boat against boat, nation against nation. Who do you like and why?
I've been thinking about that one, Stephen, and okay, I reckon it's a 60-40 deal. I think Emirates Team New Zealand will go in as favourites. However, we know, and looking at the performance of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, their upwind speed is, I think they're still a quick clicker than the New Zealanders upwind. And if they can get off the line even, or even bow back just a little bit, I think they have the pace to really put the New Zealanders under the pump. You just know the New Zealand manoeuvres and their ability to get their boat around the track in this really tricky sea state. They will be formidable. So I think they go in favourites, but watch out for the young guns.
Oh, okay. I was going to say this is where I quickly follow this up. Pete, and just quickly, experience will be the key here.
I think start. Yeah, and Burling and Nathan Outridge, they've done a hell of a lot of match racing. So you've got to think they will be on fire to try and win this start. But I think Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have just been fantastic. Fearless.
Thanks, Pete. Looking forward to your thoughts and observations on the water. We're not too far away from the call from race management to say we are good to go for the match race final on the Red Sea.
New Zealand, Italy, this is the race committee. Welcome to the match final. The course is course 6. Axis is 305. Length is 1.35 nautical miles. Good luck.
Good luck indeed. Emirates Team New Zealand on a port entry. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli on the starboard entry. How are you feeling there?
Yeah, this is going to be pretty exciting. A wonderful opportunity, you know, for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Emirates Team New Zealand. I've seen this situation before, but from the opposite side of the lens of the goggles, it's going to be a very exciting match race here. Both teams doing a brilliant job to make it through to the final, and you know, the whole team at Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli and Emirates Team New Zealand behind the scenes will be watching this. I know the Italians all will be watching this in Italy, absolutely loving what they're seeing on the TV screens here, as will be the Kiwis back in New Zealand.
It's hard to get so aggressive because the conditions are so difficult, and we've seen all the teams making errors when it gets complicated.
This is the race committee. Please note the port end of the start line will be the race committee boat. We expect the missing mark to be replaced by the lured bait rounding.
What are we thinking?
Okay, so it sounds like one of the marks may be slightly adrift there, but there's protocols into place with that, and both teams have that on their starting software, so electronically they will see that on their starting software, so play on, says the umpire.
Just a reminder too, these are autonomous marks, and they're fantastic beasts to watch just putter out onto the course, but we are good to go in race start mode.
No slow, 18.
Okay, so the games begin. Listening to the comms here, this is where it'll get exciting.
Transition is so slow and downwind. Re-engage.
Still on the pistol.
Let me know then. Leading them out there, they're on 2. Just a little faster, yeah, it's good.
You can go forward out if you want.
No, it's good. They're still on 2, super slow, so it'll be a jibe at them very soon.
There is not a lot of space, is there? You can't just like run away and do one maneuver. You're forced to make these difficult turns.
Yeah, absolutely, quite tricky there. Both boats entering the start box. Emirates Team New Zealand looking to put themselves in a locking position here. They'll want to sail up underneath Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli to take the advantage.
Lovely positioning by the Kiwis, chasing hard, in control, with just 25 seconds to go.
Definite advantage here to Emirates Team New Zealand. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli will have to look at keeping clear. Yep, and advantage Emirates Team New Zealand there.
Both boats over the line, having to come back and restart.
Penalty Italy.
Race starts in the match race final here on the Red Sea in Jeddah in the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta. And Emirates Team New Zealand are away.
Phase is 305.
Yeah, that was pretty clinical match racing performance there by Emirates Team New Zealand, really getting Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli on the back foot early. Big advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand at the moment. They'll be looking to get this manoeuvre in nicely, get across, and will make Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli's life quite difficult from here.
A classic match racing manoeuvre. The Kiwis caught them, pushed them over the line, leaving Luna Rossa with a massive manoeuvre to get back across and start correctly.
Let's go on water with Peter Lester. What did you make of the start, Pete?
Luna Rossa Luna Rossa were late getting down to the start, and that really just set up a whole sequence of events that they were on the back foot. And Peter Burling and Nathan Outridge took full advantage of that with all that experience. But Luna Rossa there had all their timing was around probably 40 seconds late.
Remember, Luna Rossa are fast upwind, and just looking at the distance, they are coming together all the time.
Question here, Emirates Team New Zealand attacking exactly as you'd expect, coughing up a little bit of their lead, but basically owning the race, forcing Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli to tack away to keep that onset flow around that twin skin mainsail and jib clear. Basically, Emirates Team New Zealand wouldn't be surprised if they tack back again fairly shortly. They'll work them out to one side of the course to make them pay at some point on the way back.
A little further and we go back.
2, 1, more down.
So as we go up in the first leg of this match race final, Emirates Team New Zealand with a slight lead on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Emirates Team New Zealand winning the start. That has been the key throughout all 8 fleet races today. But the one thing you cannot do is make a mistake. One mistake can cost you everything.
It's definitely a riding.
Now let's take it. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
9.
What are you thinking on this one? Do we want to hit him again or?
If we got enough, I'd probably parallel windward and hit him on the long lay.
Made a small gain, but we can hit them.
Can't hit him because we have.
Yes, sir. We got it.
Kind of like the right for the veeraway.
Okay, another 5 at the moment if you want to hit. A little further.
I think we're almost better just going here now.
I think you will go on any right. Yes, but he will
Small
be
gain to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli there for me in that exchange. Emirates Team New Zealand surprisingly not hitting the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli team there. Loose cover here, they'll come across and they'll hit them on the next tack. So the communications on board was to basically hit the Italians on the long tack. Some decision time coming up here right now.
Key moment in the match race final, right there.
Yeah, big gains to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but Emirates Team New Zealand just retaining control of this race. The young Italians doing a brilliant job here, closing the gap.
Italians doing well to keep it close, but beautiful positioning from the Kiwis. They're leaving the Italians no option but to tack away now to the short side of the course. They have so little runway to that right-hand side.
So slight advantage gained on the top mark for the first time by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli and quickly erased by Emirates Team New Zealand in this match race final.
Super tight racing here. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, brilliant job to dig their way back into this. The graphics are showing a 55-metre lead to Emirates Team New Zealand, but I've possibly got that a little closer than what it is.
40 seconds.
Both boats having to pull the manoeuvres off cleanly here.
Looking good in 5 for a flat spot.
14.
And board.
Average phase.
Here the hydraulics working hard there on both boats.
Looking like gains to them.
These AC40s being battery powered, no grinders on board, all just button pressing and steering going on here as the boats come head to head down here. Luna Rossa pushing hard on the ride height.
There we go, that's better now.
Forward that.
Oh, really good racing here. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli definitely still in this race. They are not out of it by any stretch of the imagination here. Anything can happen from here. One wobble in this next jibe, anything can happen.
New Zealand was so dominant off that start. I thought they were just going to sail away with it. This is so good. It's so exciting.
How far past this lady on?
Lead change. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli now. Slight lead change. We know they've been quick. They've demonstrated that today already. Don't give them a sniff. They will take it and run. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
They are not afraid to send
No, they're pushing hard there. You heard the call about the trim, taking off the trim. That's just sinking the stern a little bit, making sure they're safe on the rudder and safe on the foils. Really, really close cross coming up here between both teams. A slight advantage to Emirates Team New Zealand. Emirates Team New Zealand being on starboard tack, the right-of-way boat coming down here. Slight advantage over Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Go for right is a good option. Have you down a click, guys? What's the move? 3, 2, 1.
Think for right is the option. Your call, your call.
My call, your call. Hold it, just
Hold the board.
Oh, great racing here.
Emirates Team New Zealand just in front of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli as they go around the bottom mark and head up on leg number 3 in this match race final on the Red Sea.
Really, really interesting split here. Emirates Team New Zealand allowing Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli a little bit of breathing space.
Pete, what did you make of the rounding? What do you make of this race right now?
Yeah, we were right on the rounding, and I was looking for accuracy there of the entry into the mark and then the exit. And we know that Team New Zealand set the benchmark, but they were matched by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. A beautiful mark rounding by both boats at the bottom mark.
Let's go on the chase boat of Emirates Team New Zealand. Coach Ray Davies joins us live right now. Ray, what do you make of this, and where can you make gains?
It's hard to make gains, but it's easy to lose them. Yeah, just minimising the mistakes is the key. What an amazing race we have on our hands here. Yeah, pretty exciting pre-start, and it's all on. Proper match racing. It's great.
Oh, Ray, it's Lenny. We've seen this situation before. Emirates Team New Zealand against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Yeah, it's a bit different looking at it through this set of the lens, but what are your thoughts on where the race should pan out from here?
Yeah, g'day, cops. Like, it's just sort of, again, just keep it simple. It's not too shifty out here, just clean execution. Try and do the same amount of tacks as the other boat and just keep it clean from here on in and deliver it to the finish and try and keep your nerve and minimise the mistakes.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate the time. We're going to jump on board the chase boat of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Philippe Presti, match race final, and your team are doing a job. This is a real battle.
Real battle, yeah. And yeah, the boys are doing awesome, and also considering that we've got an issue in our boat till the beginning. You know, we burn an element, a key element, so the boat is super hot, so not as responsive. All the system is not as responsive as we wish, but the boys are doing awesome. They're just great, awesome.
Philippe, plenty of pressure to get every manoeuvre right. Just how up for this race were they?
Sorry, can you come back?
I was saying there's plenty of pressure to get absolutely every manoeuvre right.
Yeah, maneuvers, especially in this sea state, are very hard, because if you ventilate the foil in a wave or in a trough, you might lose a lot, and you might land. And so the more the breeze is up and the more the sea state is up, the harder. But so far so good.
All right, appreciate the time, Philippe.
This is the race committee. There is one leeward mark in the water that shall be rounded to starboard on the next rounding. The finish will be between the leeward mark and the race committee boat.
Can you repeat that, Mel?
There is a single leeward mark in the water that shall be rounded to starboard on your next rounding. For the finish, the line will be between the leeward mark and the race committee boat.
Also a problem with one of the race marks. They're going to use the committee boat as one end of the finish line. I think the key, this has been textbook tactics, and in many ways Luna Rossa hasn't really asked that many questions of the Kiwis. They went all the way to the left side, making it easy for the defence.
Emirates Team New Zealand about to complete the halfway mark of this race. They will lead Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on the next downward leg of this match race final on the Red Sea off the coast of Jeddah in the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta. I have to go back to what Philippe Presti said. Elements? Can you explain?
Just double checking starboard rounding.
Yeah, look, there's
hot elements.
Hot
Something
elements
tipped off the stove.
Well, there'll be some hot elements under those helmets at the moment, I think, as they're trying to get these boats downwind. Boats are quite complicated. Not really sure what the issue was there on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but we'll get to the bottom of that post-race.
That bottom mark change is actually going to make a big difference. They have one mark at the bottom. They have to round it to starboard. It's really limiting the options.
You have to admire the seamanship of these men and these boats with the way that sea state is at the moment and what we've got, because they are pushing these boats as hard as they can.
Okay, it's still hanging left. 297.
Yeah, the boat's being pushed really, really hard there. Emirates Team New Zealand almost held my breath there a little bit just as they got through that jibe. I saw a couple of waves that they were punching through, but the right height control system there and the boys on board doing a nice job to keep the boat in the water.
It's just on the far side.
Listening to Nathan Outridge there, feeding the information back to the leeward side of the boat, driving from the left.
Let's go to the boundary. Down a click. Good job here. Down a click.
Pick up a nice moment, boys.
Yes. From now on, whenever you want.
3, 2, 1. Board down, slowly going.
Umberto Molinari there, handing the aero control over to the opposite side of the boat to Vittorio Bassaro, working really hard, the trimmers here. This is not over by any stretch of the imagination, although it looks like Emirates Team New Zealand are very comfortably in front here. One wobble here, we'll see that lead get gobbled up in just a few seconds, so very, very important manoeuvres coming into the bottom of the course here.
A destra, dobbiamo girare a destra. Abbiamo due strambi ancora da fare.
They have been speaking English, Stephen, for all the other races. But now the pressure's on, they're back in Italian. Remember, only one mark to turn here, so no choice but to follow around the leader.
I am simply fascinated about the amount of work they are having to keep these boats flat.
Yeah, it's a big juggle here. It's like juggling 6 balls in the air at one time here as we're coming down to the bottom mark here.
It has to be a starboard rounding by these boats. The one mark, which one's gone walkabout, you might say, and it will be Emirates Team New Zealand. Look at it, just cranking around the mark, followed by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Pete, we've got a match race here, haven't we?
It's a thin mode, but
the last lap has been interesting. I think Team New Zealand up that, into the bottom mark, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, because of only one mark in the water, had to do a late jibing in. So small gain, just those incremental gains, and up that second one would be New Zealand got the Italians all the way over to the left-hand side, and that meant a gain at the top half of the course. It's just that match racing experience of Emirates Team New Zealand. That's the difference between the two teams.
That's a righty, I think you would, wouldn't you? Yeah, definitely.
You just see how loose these boats are coming around the mark there. The fact that the jib is actually flapping there is because the boat was actually sliding sideways, so the apparent wind going well forward on Emirates Team New Zealand there. The boat literally drifting sideways as the boys rounded the mark there. That's proper drift world right there. Oh, fantastic job there to keep that under control. That's as loose as it gets.
They whip it, don't they? They just whip it good.
Right on the edge there of control, but what a fantastic job to keep the wheels under the bus.
The Italians in the bar there of Emirates Team New Zealand. They have to start asking questions if they've any chance of winning this match. They cannot just follow on behind.
Really, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli here need to really start throwing some tools at them from the tool bag at the back there. I'm not sure how far you can throw a spanner, but they need to start throwing some stuff at them.
Lots of chatter on board Emirates Team New Zealand. They are the hunted right now with 2 legs to go. Let's hear what they're thinking.
They fight now. 2, 1.
Good up. They're matching us.
Nice. Real nice. One more bill.
Yeah, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli really need to just force an error on Emirates Team New Zealand. Try and get them unstuck. Pretty difficult thing to do with a team like Emirates Team New Zealand.
302. Hello, press later.
You can see Pete Burling there.
Looks like we're coming into more
Andy
pressure.
Maloney on the leeward side. Pete will be feeding the information back to Nathan on the windward side of exactly what they're doing, as well as actually managing the race software. So setting up the boat, the base settings.
2, 1, board.
Transferring eyes across the boat on both boats and control.
Working on cruise.
Nathan Outridge now becoming the tactician rather than the helmsman.
Match racing with essentially 2 teams on each boat. It takes such synchronicity, doesn't it? And good, clear communications.
This is a bit of a tease when you think about it, because the next time we see them in the next preliminary regatta in August 24, they will be in their brand spanking new AC75s off the coast of Barcelona. Oh.
Average small righty there.
What are you thinking from here?
Let's go on board Emirates Team New Zealand.
It's 5 right.
Looks like he just split and 1 for left, but can't happy with that pace up the middle. Left marks a little bias, isn't it?
Yes.
5 right.
Oh, right on the lane, 8.
3, 2, 1, 5.
Mine.
Clean, that's what you'd call that. As they tack into the top mark for the last time, Emirates Team New Zealand with a lead on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Emirates Team New Zealand to this point, in fact the whole regatta, have been the dominant force on the water with 5 race wins out of the available 8. So they win this one, it'll be 6 out of 9. But the young Italian team are not going away.
We asked the race committee what the...
Oh, Luna Rossa. No, they've put it down the mine. Oh, that'll be a face full. Goggles over the head. That's not what Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. There you go, sitting in the spa bath on the leeward cockpit.
Oh my goodness. Just when we said they were doing so well, one mistake kills off a race.
Oh, that's a real shame for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. That's basically game over for them. Such a shame for the young Luna Rossa
race committee,
team.
please come back.
Can you please confirm on the finishes?
Just
Finish
watching
between the leeward mark.
The replay
Your
here,
port side
coming to
and
the
the
top mark.
signal
A
boat.
beautiful rounding by Emirates Team New Zealand. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli looking good, coming around the mark
Sorry,
here.
I said that incorrectly.
Just getting a little high and a little heeled, and then bang, a rudder ventilation, and down the mine they go. No gold nuggets down there, except a face full of water.
And dead stop, like just a dead stop.
Absolute. That is what you call going over the handlebars. And absolutely not real flash at all for the wind gear. Yep, no, we've all seen that movie before, and that film doesn't end too well. But a fantastic job, though, all round from the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli team as we watch Emirates Team New Zealand sail their boat. All they have to do is deliver it now to the finish for the race win here in Jeddah. But a fantastic effort all round to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and hats off for them to even make this match race final.
Gut-wrenching moment for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Everything has been going so smoothly to this point, which is the match race final. But we have always mentioned throughout these last 3 days, one mistake will cost you a race. And just when the race was the match race final, that mistake cost Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli everything. But take nothing away. They did not even expect to be here. The confidence was high, the momentum was there, but this team you are looking at right now, the defender of the 37th America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand, will win the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta here in Jeddah, and they'll do their 6th race in 3 days. They are the champions of the Red Sea.
Yeah, solid finish there by Emirates Team New Zealand. A clinical performance. The wider team will be extremely pleased that that has been the result. It's a huge
This is the umpires.
effort.
Italy, New Zealand have finished. Confirm you have retired.
1212, Italy confirming.
So confirmation.
1212, Italy confirming we are retired.
Oh, look at the
Copy that, Italy. Understood. Thank you.
Look at the face of Marco Gradoni sitting there, absolutely broken. They were so close.
Oh, it's brutal. Absolute disappointment, but you know, they can hold their heads really high, Shirley. What a fantastic job they've all done.
You have a lot of tough moments as a young sportsman at this level, but really, Emirates Team New Zealand, what a few days that they have had. I mean, they have really shown how to sail the AC40 and actually didn't really look that threatened apart from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Would you believe it? I mean, this is the wonderful thing about sport, as each of the team congratulate themselves aboard Emirates Team New Zealand, but you know there were a lot of people willing Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on, because we have been repeating ourselves, but they have been the talk of the race village, and all the other teams going, hang on a minute, where did this come from? Just when you need it. But huge learning curve. Let's be put in context, and Philippe Presti will be disappointed, but he will understand. All right, let's go on board the victorious Emirates Team New Zealand with Peter Burton. Congratulations, Peter. Oh, it's Nathan. Okay. Hey, Nathan, congratulations on winning the regatta here in Jeddah. Feels good, right?
Yeah, good day, Stephen. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, we've been happy with how we've gone all weekend, and a lot of effort's gone into this. So, yeah, very happy to get a win that we didn't get at the last event.
Nathan, you know, what does this mean to the whole team? And maybe talk about how much of a team effort it is.
It's a massive team effort. You only see 4 people on this boat, but there's a huge effort right behind us all here, making it all happen. A lot of time and effort in the debrief room, analysing everything that we do, and obviously a huge team that's created this class and this event. So that means a lot to us. We were very disappointed at the last one, and yeah, great to come away with a win here.
Nath, it's Glenn here, mate. Congratulations to you and all the team. Looked pretty exciting sailing there, mate. Some of those mark roundings, particularly that bottom one where you definitely had it opposite lock sideways there. A little flappy jib, that was a bit loose, mate. Fill us in.
Yeah, it's challenging conditions out here, and this is what we love as sailors, to really push boats to the limit. And yeah, that one of the bottom mark roundings, we had a good little leeway skid, like going around in a dirt bike, mate. You know all about that. But yeah, we were just happy to put together some clean laps after the first race today. Obviously was a little scrappy from us, so we had a good reset. Guys worked really hard to sail the boat more accurately and faster, and you know, it was nice to shut that race down against Prada.
Oh, congratulations. Pass on our best to the team and enjoy the victory. Well done.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
So there you have it, the victorious team here in the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, is Emirates Team New Zealand, and they have done it, I would suggest, clinically. They have been clinical all weekend, or all week.
It's been a joy to watch them and to listen to them, a real insight into, you know, how they work and how they approach it. And as Nathan said, they were frustrated in Spain and didn't want to leave anything on the table here.
I got a feel for the Italians. You got a feel for them. They have thrown, they threw the boat at them, and in the end they did throw the boat at them, but it was at the wrong point. They threw Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at Emirates Team New Zealand, but they have certainly done themselves proud. And you know the way Philippe Presti operates, he will be incredibly proud of this team. It's a wider team effort, but they have certainly made the final. A lot of other more celebrated teams did not make it, and they have certainly come up just a weeny bit short this time around. So smiles on board Emirates Team New Zealand, and it makes a magnificent picture. That is the Jeddah Yacht Club and Marina. The Yacht Club itself is that magnificent triangular building that you can see in front of you. Also hosting, of course, the Academy, which is breeding the next generation of Saudi sailors. And I'm going to use your words, must be a sense of relief to get the job done here for Emirates.
There'll be definitely some relief going on there in all departments of Emirates Team New Zealand. A fantastic effort, and what an exciting future we have next year coming into Barcelona with the AC75s and the youth and the women's America's Cups on these boats, the AC40s. What a wonderful opportunity for these young girls and guys coming in to drive these high-performance carbon fibre missiles.
Barcelona is going to be breathtaking. Let's remind you of how the match race final in Jeddah unfolded.
Well, it really was cat and mouse. New Zealand set it up well, came back to the start and managed to lead by a pretty long way.
Coming upwind of the top marks, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli doing a brilliant job to get back into the race and splitting with Emirates Team New Zealand at the top gate.
By the time they got down the bottom of the course, it was neck and neck, simultaneous turns around those bottom marks.
The top mark for the last time, and bang, down the gurgler go Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, filling both cockpits up to the brim. Unfortunate for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but what a fantastic effort here in Jeddah as a team.
Gotta hurt, but what doesn't hurt is receiving the trophy. Onto the boat comes Amir Abdul Shakur from the Ministry of Sport here in Saudi Arabia, and presenting that magnificent trophy. It's not small there, it looks a bit heavy too actually, to Emirates Team New Zealand, champions of the NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. That's an impressive trophy.
That sure is an impressive piece of silverware. You got to fit a few cups of tea in there. Well done to the team. It's a big wide team, and everyone will be fairly happy to take that beautiful piece of silverware back to the mantelpiece back in Auckland in a few days' time.
I wonder what the feeling is like now that the next time they hit the water in anger, in competition, will be in the 75s, because that's where we must now look towards the 75s.
Well, of course, that's all about design and how exciting that is. We're hearing the fireworks going off. It's a bit of an occasion here, but it will be different, Stephen. We're really waiting to see the new boats, which will start to splash down in the spring. And yeah, a lot more sailors, a lot more load. A very exciting prospect next summer in Barcelona.
Yeah, the design side of things certainly excites me, and there'll be a few grinders and possibly cyclors that will be looking forward to joining these guys on the AC75s, powering those big AC75 footers. The aero, there's going to be some horsepower coming on board these big boats over the next few months. There'll be some big boys that'll be looking forward to showing the rest of the world what they've been working on over the last couple of years.
A colourful fireworks display here in Jeddah to round off this America's Cup Preliminary Regatta here on the Red Sea, and it's hard not to get excited when we start thinking about the big boats, the big buses they're sometimes referred to. And I mean, you guys have intel. I mean, are we going to see anything radically different in any of the designs, or are we going to see similar, incredibly fast 75s?
Well, if you think these AC40s are fast, you haven't seen anything yet. The AC75s will blow the doors off any other boat that will be out on the water. They are about 30 to 40% faster than the AC40s. It's going to be super, super exciting to see them come on the water.
Let's take a look at the key moment in this match race final.
This was it in the pre-start. It was textbook by Emirates Team New Zealand. They pushed Luna Rossa over the start early and made it easy for themselves to come back and restart and get up to pace, leaving the Italian team with a massive manoeuvre and 100 metres deficit.
They didn't let it faze them, but this really fazed them. This put them out of the race.
Oh, and look, they've done such a brilliant job all regatta, really making no mistakes. And unfortunately, just at the top there, right at the penultimate turn, that can happen at a foiling boat. These guys have definitely seen this movie before. They'll learn a lot from that. Great experience. And they'll learn a lot as a team. And they'll take that forwards and use that as a great learning opportunity.
Look at the eyes tell everything. Oh my goodness, what just happened? Onto the water with Peter Lester. Peter, regatta's over. Emirates Team New Zealand are the champions in Jeddah. But gee, let's start with the Italians. They have given us good.
Oh, and, you know, talk about the future. The future is bright for Italy with this new combination. I thought they were just fantastic. Ruggiero Tita and Marco Gradoni, they are the Italian sailors of the future. But really, it was the master and the apprentice for me in this one. You just know Emirates Team New Zealand with, you know, 2 times America's Cup champions, that they know how to match race. And I think for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, they just were found a little bit on the back foot. They were late into the entry and they paid for that. Emirates Team New Zealand controlled the ley lines. They managed to push the action out to the left-hand side and clamp that vice-like grip on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and that's match racing.
Hey Pete, have you had a good time following these close up?
I've absolutely loved it out here, and you know, Glenn in the studio, it's great to hear your banter, mate, but there's something special about being out on Chase 1. You don't get as much of the commentary, but my word, you see a lot. You see the different subtleties of how the crews set the boats up. Look, it's just given me a different vision of our wonderful sport.
Nice job, Pete. Appreciate that. Nice insight off the water on Chase 1 and all the team that have been bouncing around on the Red Sea in Jeddah. It has been an incredible week in Saudi Arabia. The locals have welcomed not just the teams, they've welcomed the whole television crew, which I can tell you is vast indeed. And the most important thing, the AC40s have put on a show, and they've put on a show that has impressed everybody, including the sailors themselves.
Look, I think honestly it's been some of the best foiling racing I've ever seen and been involved with, and I've seen a bit over the years, but this has been super impressive, and to see these boats getting pushed to their limits, as we've seen with that last mark rounding by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, absolutely fantastic racing.
But just think, Barcelona is around the corner. August in 2024, we will begin with the 3rd Preliminary Regatta off the coast of this magnificent Spanish city. The 75-footers, a region that has already adopted all the teams and gone, bring it on, baby. We want to see the big buses, the big boats out there scorching off the coast of Barcelona. We've had a little taste there in Spain in the first Preliminary Regatta, but it will not get any better with the big boats in Barcelona and the 37th America's Cup. The match in October of 2024, the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. Final thoughts, Shirley? Jeddah, it delivered.
Oh my goodness, it has been fantastic, hasn't it? And really shown the benchmark from the Kiwi outfit and the future from the Italians. And book your tickets for Barcelona. It is going to be tantalising.
Very special to have such an epic event here in Jeddah. You know, from a sailor's perspective, I think you absolutely can't complain with the conditions. That was one of the best conditions you could ever wish for as a yachty, and wow, they certainly made the most of it out there. Absolutely fantastic to watch.
On behalf of Shirley Robinson and Glenn Ashby, 3-time America's Cup champions, we thank you for being a part of this NEOM America's Cup Preliminary Regatta. It has been stunning. Emirates Team New Zealand are the champions. We'll see you in August in Barcelona.